My oldest is now set for the week. Hey guys, if you are new, my name is Vanessa and today I am sharing all about my oldest daughter. I get a lot of requests. She does live a pretty vegan slash plant-based lifestyle, which is very different from the rest of us, the other 5, well 6 right now in the house. So getting meals prepped for her definitely saves us a lot of time and dishes from having to make a whole bunch of different things. So this week I meal prepped and I am sharing that with you guys. So if you like these types of videos, you're definitely going to want to hit that subscribe button and stick around. You guys are going to get even more inspiration, not just from my video, but I'm teaming up with Life with Casey. We are collaborating. So she is also going to be sharing some vegan meal prep. I'll have her video linked down below. After you guys are done watching this, check out her video, leave her a lemon emoji if you are new. She does a lot of food related content, grocery hauls. Also, if you guys are looking for something to binge watch, this past month, all of August, she's been doing Vlogust, where she's posting a vlog type video every single day. So if you guys want to really get to know her, you've got a lot of content over this past month to catch up on. Again, I will have her video linked down below so you guys can check it out, but let's go ahead. I've got a pretty long list. Hopefully we can get it all done. But let me take you down to my counter and we're gonna start meal prepping some things for my oldest daughter, who, I don't know if I've said it, but her name is Paige and she is 16 years old. All right, so I have all my ingredients out to start with one of the breakfast items, and I feel like it's going to be the easiest, and that is just pancakes. Now, typically when she makes her pancakes in the morning, she does 1 or 2 at a time, and she uses the little dash machine. I've shared them in the past, but it makes it, those machines just make it super easy when she is making her own meals. But every now and then I will go ahead and prep a whole bunch of stuff for her if I feel like she has a busy week with her schoolwork or something. So that's what I'm doing this week. That way she's not in the kitchen as much. But this is one of her favorites, the Birch Bender's plant protein. And we actually buy this in bulk from Amazon. So I will link it down below, but it is a vegan plant-based protein. It's got whole grains, 10 grams of protein. And this is a mix where you just add water. The whole bag makes about 20 medium pancakes. So I am gonna be making the whole bag, putting it in a freezer bag. So she just has to take 1 or 2 out in the morning and pop them in the microwave. And then I am going to add, these are Lily's chocolate chips, the dark chocolate. So I'm going to add some of those in there as well because she really loves chocolate chip pancakes. So again, all I'm doing is adding water, and then I'm opting for the chocolate chips, gonna mix it all up. And then I'm going to use my bigger griddle so I can make more than just 1 at a time. Okay, pancakes are done. So here's all the ones that I'm going to be putting in a bag and freezing. I'm gonna let these cool off first though, and then I had enough of the batter to make like 2 smaller ones, so I just made 1 bigger one. She's gonna eat that one this morning. But I did go ahead and date and then label my freezer bag. I am on the hunt for reusable freezer bags. So if you guys have any that you like, let me know the brand in the comments, because I am on the hunt for her and for me, because you know, we try to do what we can where we can, but sometimes we definitely convenience wins out in this house most of the time. But I would like to find a good brand for when I am freezing items, because pancakes are something that I do all the time, and definitely a tried and true, because I've seen some people purchased a few. I think Target has some, and I don't know who else has some, but they don't last for very long, maybe like 3 or 4 uses, and then the seal, you know, the edges start coming apart and things like that. They don't seal as well. So everybody's starting to wake up. I don't know if you guys can hear doors in the house, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my little ones fed, and then we will move on to the next meal prep for Paige. Okay, next up, I'm gonna be making some personal size jars of chia seed pudding. And then I'm also going to make some blueberry, we're gonna call it jam. It's like a blueberry filling that you could put in pies or whatever. I'm just gonna make a smaller amount to add to the chia pudding. And then also, this is really good on toast as well. So we'll have this in the fridge for this week to eat on. But let's go ahead and get the chia seed pudding mixed up first. So for the chia seed pudding, again, I'm making them individually. So I'm gonna mix each one in the jar. So for each one, I'm gonna put 1/2 cup of this unsweetened almond milk, 2 tablespoons of the chia seeds, a little pinch of salt, and then you can use whatever extract you want, flavor it up. You can use vanilla. I'm gonna use almond because that is one of my favorites, and I think Paige is really gonna love it as well. And I'm making 2 for her and 2 for me. So I'm gonna use maybe 1.5 teaspoons of the almond extract, and then that is it for the pudding. So let's go ahead and whip up these 4 servings. Okay, these are going to go in the refrigerator while I work on the blueberry jam. So I have a pot over medium heat. I'm going to add 2 cups of frozen blueberries. They're not quite frozen anymore, and actually I only have a little bit in this 12-ounce bag. I'm just gonna add the whole thing. Adding 1/3 cup of sugar, about 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and a tablespoon of lemon juice. You can use fresh. I just have the already squeezed lemon juice, so that is what I'm adding. Okay, so I'm going to stir this up just to get all those ingredients combined, and then I'm going to let it heat over medium for about 10 minutes, just stirring occasionally. Okay, my 10 minutes are up. Look how juicy it is. All the blueberries, all their juices exploding everywhere. So I'm gonna turn the heat down to low, and then I made a little cornstarch slushy. So it's just 1 tablespoon of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. And I'm going to add that in, give it a stir, and I'm gonna cook it for another 5+ minutes until it is definitely a thicker consistency. It is, wow, this is working really fast. It's already pretty thick, but I'm gonna let it go for maybe 5 minutes. That is definitely the consistency that I want. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add, I've got like a soup spoon here. I'm just gonna add 1 scoop to each of my little chia pudding cups here. I mean, the chia pudding is gonna be sweet already, but I really like fruit in mine. You could add fresh fruit, but I was already making this as like a spread for toast, that I think it'll be good in the chia pudding. So I've got that, and now I'm gonna let the rest of this cool off, and then I'll put it into a little container for the fridge. Okay, so I'm gonna work on a snack right now for Paige, or anything, like she can have it on the side of her lunch or anything. I'm gonna make homemade hummus. I will have the recipe written out down below, but I've got all my ingredients out, and then I'm going to be using my food processor to mix it all up. Okay, so don't follow what I did, but follow the directions that I'm putting in the description box, because I've made this a couple times, and this time I just wasn't paying attention. I'm trying to multitask and do school with the kids at the table here in the kitchen with me. They're in the dining room right now, but I put too much cold water in. So it is a little runny, and normally I would just add a little bit more chickpeas, but I don't have any more. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the fridge, see if it thickens up a little bit. If it doesn't, then I will probably have my husband run into HEB or something on his way home today and just pick up 1 can of chickpeas. That way I can add that to this, and then it'll be thick enough for Paige and whoever else. My husband likes hummus too, but for us to eat on this week. But this is definitely a little bit more runny than what we like. I mean, I'm sure it's still fine. You can use it with carrots or chips like a dip, but we definitely prefer ours to be a little thicker. So that's what I get for trying to multitask and do schoolwork and prep food at the same time. Okay, next snack slash dessert really is peanut butter cookies. I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. I have my baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and these are the ingredients that I'm going to be using. So you can use crunchy or smooth. I asked Paige which she preferred, and she said smooth, so we got some smooth peanut butter, baking soda, vanilla extract, unsweetened almond milk, salt, sugar, and flour. I will have the measurements and instructions listed out in the description box so you guys can check it out. But we are just going to get everything mixed together in our bowl, and then we will get the cookies on our baking sheet.
Got a dopamine rush, got a major league crush when you're next to me. Got my heart upon my sleeve, can I hide the way I feel when you're next to me, girl? Got the kick in every move, and I fought it's like a fool for you, for you. Wish I knew just what it was, but why should I make a fuss? Just stay next to me, girl, next to me, girl. Something special, don't know why, something special that I like about you, about you. There's a mystery entwined, something bigger to define about you, about you. Am I the only one to see? Got me down on my knees, taken by your gravity, and I just know.
Okay, now I am putting these in the oven for about 10 minutes. I'm letting the second batch of cookies cool off before I get them in my container. This definitely made quite a few, so my younger 3 kids are going to enjoy these as well. So now that the second treat is done, we're gonna be working on the third one, the last like sweet treat that I'm making today. Okay, so the last sweet treat, I'm gonna be making some rice pudding, and then I'm also making some extra rice to go with one of her lunch or dinner options. So I have 3 cups of rice in here, and I'm adding 5 cups of water. I did pre-rinse this rice. I don't want it to be extra sticky, so I'm gonna go ahead and close my lid. Whenever I use my Instant Pot, always make sure you are sealing, not venting. Your pot won't come to pressure. And then mine has this handy dandy rice button, so I'm gonna use that. All it does is it puts your pot on low pressure for 12 minutes, and then you do a quick release when it is all done. All right, now that my rice is done, we can turn it into rice pudding. In a saucepan, I'm adding 1 can of coconut milk, about 1/2 teaspoon vanilla, about 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. I just have my heat on low, and I'm going to stir that up until all these ingredients are nice and combined. Okay, I turned it up, the heat up to medium, so it starts bubbling a little bit, and I'm going to add about 1 and 2 cups of the cooked rice. I might add more, it just depends. I don't want it to be super runny, so I'm gonna mix this up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add 1 more cup because I don't want it to be super runny like this. Paige and I like our rice pudding a little on the thicker side, basically just sweet rice, not really soupy. So 1 more cup of rice, and it's starting to bubble, so I'm gonna turn it medium low and let this simmer for 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm not sure what jar I'm gonna use it yet. I first picked out these 4-ounce jars. I bought these a long time ago. I love using them for meal prep for things like that, or for gifting. So I've got this one, and then these are the ones that I used for the chia pudding. These are 8-ounce. So I think this might be too much. Like, this is too big of a serving for the rice pudding. But the amount I made, because I put 3 cups of rice in there, we'll see. I think I'm gonna start off with these. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill a couple of these and see how much this makes. But again, these are 4-ounce jars. Yeah, I think that is enough for a serving size. I kind of really stuffed it to the top there. And I am gonna go ahead and add a little bit of ground cinnamon to the top because I love cinnamon. Just gonna close that up, and then I'll see how many jars I can get out of the 3 cups of rice that I made. Okay, so that's actually perfect. It made 6 jars, and then with just a little bit left over. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this cool off a little bit. These are so hot. So I'm gonna leave these sitting on the counter for just a bit, then get them in the fridge. Paige and I like I like mine straight out of the fridge. She likes hers more room temperature. She lets it sit out on the counter for a little bit. Let me know if you guys like rice pudding. Do you like it hot or cold? I prefer cold. Or are you more like Paige, where you let it sit out on the counter and you're more of a room temperature type person? So I think that made the perfect amount for us for the next week and a half. This will last a little bit longer than your typical meal prep things because it's just rice and coconut milk and it's just staying in the fridge. So it'll last a little bit longer, but that is the rest of the sweet treats. Now we're gonna get into some lunches and dinner prep for her. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get to 3 lunch/dinner options for Paige, but we'll see if we can get to that because I'm also, like I said, multitasking, mom life, right? So the first one, I actually had Paige go online and see if there was anything that she would like me to make for her. And she picked this vegan avocado pesto pasta. This is something that she can have a little bit right after I make it, but is also really good cold. And if you guys can hear my dishwasher, I mean, I've been in the kitchen all day so far, so I needed to go ahead and get some dishes started. So for this one, I will have this recipe linked down below, but I'll also, let's see, get a little close so you guys can screenshot it if you want. But I've got all my ingredients out. I have my water boiling already, my salted water for the pasta. So I already had this ditalini pasta. You can see here that they used a bigger noodle, but I'm using what I already have on hand. So I've got a cup of that. This is frozen spinach that I'm hoping thaws. Otherwise I might have to wait a little bit longer. I need that to be thawed. 1 avocado, some cashews, some basil, olive oil. I'm using minced garlic because I really need to work my way down on this thing and use it up. some lemon juice, and then salt and pepper. And I'm gonna be using my food processor again. I just rinsed it out, I didn't wash it. I just did a quick rinse of it from the hummus, and then I'll wash it after this because this will be the last time that I need my food processor. So first, I'm going to just cook up my pasta, maybe about 8 to 10 minutes in some boiling water once this comes to a boil. And then the rest of the ingredients we're turning into the pesto. So we'll be putting in our food processor.
Something special about you. Got me under lock and key, but I don't wanna be free when I'm next to you. You're like honey to a bee. I go crazy for the sweet when I'm next to you, girl. Got the kick in every move, and I fought us like a fool for you, for you. It might seem that I'm dumb, but it's you that's got me stunned. Stay next to me, girl, next to me, girl. Something special, don't know why. Something special that I like about you, about you. There's a mystery entwined, something bigger to define about you, about you. And I'm the only one to see. Got me down on my knees, taken by your gravity. And I just know you got that something.
I actually, because the noodles were so small, I only had a little bit left in my box. So I ended up adding 1 and then about another 1, 3/4 cup of the noodles. I kept all the other measurements the same, threw some tomatoes in there, and now I'm going to just put the lid on it, get it in the fridge, because this is a dish that you definitely want to serve cold. The next meal I'm going to be prepping for Paige is another one that she picked out. So I will have this linked down below. We've actually made several versions, cauliflower over rice. This is one that she did pick out though, so I'm gonna follow this as close as I can. It's called vegan sweet and sour cauliflower, so I will have this linked in the description. But let's see, can you see that? You can screenshot it if you want. And that is why I made the extra rice. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook up the cauliflower and then put it in a couple different containers for her to just take out of the fridge, put in the microwave, and zap it for an easy lunch or dinner over the next week. So here's all my ingredients. I've got a head of cauliflower, olive oil. This is cornstarch. It's gonna help thicken up the sauce later on. I've got some vegetable base, tamari. It calls for chili flakes. I'm just gonna use a little bit of red pepper, brown sugar, tahini, rice vinegar, and garlic. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix up the sauce ingredients, and then we're going to cut up the cauliflower and cook that in a pan on the stovetop.
Something special about you. You got it down, shake my ground, and I can't get enough. Got me spellbound. And every day, in every way, I just know there's something about you. Something special, don't know why. Something special that I like about you, about you. There's a mystery entwined, something bigger to define about you, about you. And I'm the only one to see. Got me down on my knees, taken by your gravity. And I just know you got that something special about you.
Meal number 2 done. She's actually gonna have this for dinner. It's closing in on dinner time. I've had several breaks in between being in the kitchen. So this is what she is going to eat. Again, we use the rice that we cooked up. I have plenty rice left over, so I'm actually gonna put this in a freezer baggie, and then the next time I make dog food, I will add this into the dog food. That way that step is already done. But she went ahead and cut up some green onions. That way when she pulls these 2 out later on in the week and heats them up, she can top them with some green onions, and they are already cut up and ready to go. So that is meal number 2, 1 for dinner tonight. And then she's got 2 that are going in the fridge, and she can choose this for lunch or dinner this coming week. Okay guys, I've decided not to make the third one. Paige and I are just gonna make that together tomorrow, and we'll just make enough for her to eat, or her and I to eat for lunch for one meal. But this is what I accomplished today. Got her set up pretty well, and then a couple things for me, and of course the cookies are for everyone, but I think I did pretty good for today. Got some chia pudding, rice pudding, the hummus. So I did show this to her and she's like, that's fine. It did thicken up a little bit. That's okay. She said it tastes great. I've got the extra blueberry. It's not really, I mean, I guess it's sort of like jam. I don't really know what to call this, but this little blueberry spread for toast for the next, 2 weeks or so. Some cookies. This avocado pesto pasta that is nice and cold now, and it tastes absolutely delicious. 2 of the sweet and sour cauliflower over rice, and then there's 20 pancakes in here for her. So she has 1 or 2 at a time, so this will definitely last her longer than a week. But I hope you guys got some great ideas from the meal prep that I was able to get done today. All right, guys, I've got a sink full of dishes. It looks like it's gonna be about 2, maybe 3 loads if I don't hand wash anything, but I love getting it all done. My feet are a little sore, but again, just getting it all done in one day, that way it's set for the week. It definitely works out for my family. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Again, don't forget to check out Casey's video down below. If you guys are new coming over from Casey's, I hope you guys enjoyed this and you hit that subscribe button and stick around. But it is Friday, ending the week for us. I'm really excited about this weekend. We've got a lot of just cleaning up and things that need to get done, but it always makes me feel good when I get my whole to-do list checked off. So hopefully we can get that done. But I hope you guys have a great weekend as well. And I will see you tomorrow, Saturday, in my weekly grocery haul. Bye guys.